You know what that is? Simply lovely.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Simply Lovely podcast. My name is Corbin, of course, joined with Caleb. Caleb, what's up, dude?
Nothing at all. Literally nothing at all. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing going on. So, it's Thursday, which means it's prediction week. It's, that meme that every F1 account posts every time, Raw Seek or whatever, RAWECEEK, that whole meme. So,
Yeah, it's supposed to say race week for you guys who don't know what the meme is, but of course they have to misspell it because it's funny. It's funny because it's on the internet.
well, it was funny like the first time I saw it.
Yeah, and now it's literally every week, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Kimmy Lotus thing. It was like,
my
that was
gosh.
interesting. That was interesting the first time or even the second time, but the 3 millionth time, I was kind of like, all right, well, what are we doing?
Wait, I actually don't even know what you're talking about. Wait, are you talking about whenever Kimmy bankrupted Lotus because he got so many points? What?
Yeah, bro.
No way. Never heard this
Secret
before.
fact.
Anyways.
All right, let's not talk about that. I've seen that too many times.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to jump into the BS. I don't know. Caleb, do you want to get into the predictions first? Or are we going to be looking over some tweets?
We'll save the predictions. There's just a couple of brief news things. First off, big news. Great day to be an American. Colton Herta, he's in F2.
Come on now.
Arguably,
Oil, baby.
Arguably not a great day to be American when a top IndyCar driver would rather drive an F2 than drive an IndyCar. But I think that's not enough context to that. He's obviously doing this because he is going to drive in Formula One. So anyone making it seem like he was taking, like even he views it as a lateral step to go from IndyCar to F2 is stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there were a lot of people saying that. It's like, he was never doing that. He's obviously just doing this to get some experience in a Formula car because, they are a little different than an Indy car, believe it or not. So,
yeah, he can't. I mean, the jump from IndyCar to F2 is a little bit similar because they're more of like a Dallara chassis. They're pretty similar, but then, F2 is more similar to F1. So making that jump will be fine. And then hopefully eventually
he gets on the tracks. Obviously,
Yeah.
He gets on some of the tracks to get some experience
absolutely.
in
That
that
as
kind of
well.
racing. So,
and then also makes connections. And then eventually I think he's going to end up at Cadillac because that's just a good look. American.
well, I mean, he literally is.
Yeah.
Like, they signed him as the reserve driver, obviously, to replace one of these two, Bottas and Perez.
Yeah. But of course, as long as he does well in F2, he's got to do that first.
Yeah, I don't even know if he just has to earn enough super license points. I don't even know if it matters if he does well or not.
I don't know. We'll see, but I'm very
I mean, that Cadillac car, it's expected to be at least I'm expecting it to be absolute pure garbage for its first year.
Oh yeah.
Probably the first couple of years. So, I was always hoping he was going to do F2 anyway to get some experience. I didn't want him to just rush right into it. I think he obviously has the talent, he was a good IndyCar driver, but it's still a different racing series to make the crossover to F1.
All I'm saying is,
Speaking of untalented drivers, though, one second.
Wait, hold on. All I'm saying is, after I met Colton Herta, he all of a sudden becomes an F2 driver and is going to be in Formula One, maybe. Little side flex. Duhan had hopes of getting back into the Alpine F1 seat for the final 3 races of 2025, but that possibly has been closed off. Really? Who want me? Not Alpine.
Yeah, I don't know why he had hopes of that.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it's too bad for him. I don't know why he had hopes for that, but
yeah, after he got
good
dropped,
to have dreams.
I thought he needs to go to like IndyCar. He actually should go to IndyCar. I like him a lot, and I want to see him in a racing series that I consistently watch. So, come to IndyCar, or go join
become a Mario Kart esports player.
That's also a great option. Rambo Road enthusiast. These are things we got to think about.
There was another news piece I saw. I don't know. I had to find it actually, but it was like that Christian Horner's like trying to gather funds to start his own Formula One team.
I did see that.
I don't know that it'll get approved. I mean, they were like the European teams and like current teams were literally trying to like straight up assassinate and the Andretti's for trying to get involved in Formula One. So, and
Yeah.
that was for the 11th team. So, I'm not sure the 12th team would go over very well with them either. And if they keep adding teams, they're gonna have to start making it so that not everyone races at some point. So,
Yep. Oh man. So like basically, if you didn't qualify high enough, then you don't
kind of like
race. Kind
IndyCar,
of
yeah.
like what they do for the 500, which still
Yeah.
doesn't make any. That's always been kind of weird, just because it's like you already have so many cars out on track. Why wouldn't you just let the other people come in? But I do get it. So
Because they already have like 50 red flags and they or not red flag, like caution flags, and it's like, why would you want more?
yeah, we already got tires flying over people's heads and extreme crashes. But whatever. The Indy 500 fire. So
Yeah, 213 days till the Indy 500.
really, ooh,
I believe IndyCar put out like a tweet, like a Instagram or a tweet, like social media thing about it. So,
oh sick. Okay,
so we're almost back to that, but obviously that season even has to start first. And Alex Blow will win everything and
most likely.
win another title. So,
Yeah. Also met him. Oh, no big deal. It's really no big deal. After I met him, it's whenever he started just like murdering everybody in IndyCar. It's whatever. But
yeah, he was doing that.
he was doing that before, but then he started doing it even more after I met him. So just throwing it out there. So is that all you
Yeah, all right.
have
I
for Twitter?
that was the only two news pieces I had. I just thought the Herta one was the only one I actually had. I just thought the Duan one was funny. I was like,
That's
bro,
very
what do you
funny.
mean you had hopes? Like there's no reason you would come back at this point.
Yeah.
Why would you even want to sit in that Alpine?
I don't know. I have no clue, bro. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So
All right. Should we jump into the predictions now?
we may as
We've,
well.
we've done a little bit of yapping here. So obviously Mexico City. I mean, I guess I'll say it even though it basically applies to every race for the end of the year, but a big race for the championship here. How much can Max cut back into that huge lead? Can Oscar bounce back? Can Lando continue to subtly climb back up towards first? Those are the three big championship storylines. Also, though, for George Russell, if everyone DNFs, he is back in it.
That
He
is
just
real.
all three of those guys have to DNF for every race and sprint for the rest of the year, and George Russell has to win everything, and he can be world champion. So,
So you're saying there's a chance.
no, there's not a chance because we're heading to Mexico City.
Yeah, MAXico City Grand Prix.
So I don't know how much disparity there's going to be in our ranking, in our little prediction action here, but not a sprint weekend. So 3 practices, qualifying, and a normal race. As I almost die. Corbin, let me get it for you. What is your poll prediction?
Poll prediction. It's hard not to choose Max because again, this is MAXico City Grand Prix, but high downforce track. I could see Lando on pole, and then bottling it to Max. So I'm gonna put Lando on pole.
All right. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. He needs it. He's going to get it. Max Verstappen's putting that car on pole.
It's fair.
He basically needs pole. He knows how it works. He knows you need pole to get the win. Or P2 at least. So he's gonna try his hardest to put it on pole. And I think at this point, what's gonna stop him? So
Fair.
P3 in the race. So Lando takes pole position. Who is getting third in the race?
Third in the race. What if I get a little bit crazy here? I could get a little bit crazy, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say it'll be Lando Norris in third.
Lando going from pole, finishing third. Is it just getting passed on lap 1? Is it a bad pit stop? Is it just
I
not the
see
fastest
him
car?
getting passed on in turn 1 by Max, and then through the first. Actually, no, he's getting double overtaken by Max and George Russell.
I'm gonna assume Russell's your P2 then,
Yes.
and Max being your winner.
Yep.
Guess I can just fill in your podium
You
for
can.
you with
You can.
with little spoilers there.
Yeah.
So Corbin has the weekend rolling up. Where's Oscar finishing? If Lando's P3, George is P2, Max wins.
Something is telling me our boy Oscar's about to get a little bit desperate. I think he's going to DNF.
Wow, that would be tragic. If that happened, I believe Lando, based on your finish, Lando would be leading the championship by 1 point, and Max would then be 14 points behind Oscar.
So Lando has
Or
Lando has
yeah,
332.
14.
Oscar has
15 because there's no
346. So
it'd be 15 because there's no fastest lap anymore.
Yep.
So
yep, he'd be up by 1 point.
Oh yeah, that was the last news. Is McLaren actually? So Lando, there was the big whole repercussions thing coming
Saw
into,
this.
and that is now gone.
Yep, it's not a real thing.
Oscar said, I think maybe I did a little bit wrong on the sprint and tried to murder Nico and then my teammate, but it was a little wrong. So we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of the repercussions. Don't even worry about it, guys.
Guys, I made just a small error.
So
Error.
I'm glad that I see. It's like McLaren's got to stop with this. Like they said, Lando didn't make a mistake in Singapore. They said it was it was good racing. They said he didn't make a mistake. Then all of a sudden the next week they're talking about no, don't worry, he's being punished.
Yeah.
And then now it's back to, all right, Oscar, you kind of messed up there. So we're going to take away Lando. We're taking Lando out of timeout. So, I mean, it's multiple times zero. They love saying something and then immediately doing the opposite. Obviously they were, what pit stop was just part of racing. And then it was like, okay, but it's not anymore.
Yeah, it's not. So yeah, they've been very two-sided and very inconsistent with how they've been dealing with this whole papaya rules stuff. So I believe at this point it's probably done. I would hope. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's by now? Do you think it's over?
I think it was over after Singapore. I don't, even if they sit there and still are trying to papaya rules, don't crash. I mean, Lando made a super gutsy move and overtook Oscar. I think they're both going to be tweaking about Max now. And I mean, look, at this point, if Oscar DNFs, it's kind of, it still wouldn't happen, but it's kind of like you're on territory of like, all right, it's time for McLaren to actually back Lando like people say they've been doing.
Right.
To which Lando will be called what? Lando, you know what's funny? After all the talk about bottling and how Lando's the turbo bottler and he can't ever finish, it's going to be truly poetic that Oscar ends up being the one to bottle this championship to either Max or Lando.
Yeah.
Which is looking like you do. I don't think he's going to win it anymore. I mean, Max is the betting favorite. I still think, like, statistically speaking, Lando is the favorite, just based off still what Max would have to do. But a couple more weekends in, I think we can start saying Max is the statistical favorite if he keeps winning. But yeah, it's kind of like Oscar needs to. We have said it though. Oscar kind of for Max to really put Max out of conversation. Oscar needs one, maybe two really dominant weekends. Even if he doesn't have his best stuff anymore, and he just plants his flag one weekend, has a great drive, builds back some lead against Max, it would make it far harder for Max to actually overcome that gap. Because it already is very hard. But I know I talked about this after, I think it was our race recap last week or earlier this week Max is entering a position. If Oscar gets worse than, it's either second or third, I don't even remember. I think it's second. Then Max now just has to win everything and he'll be champion. It doesn't matter what the other drivers do.
Yeah.
So that's worst case scenario for McLaren.
Yeah.
Because it's now completely out of their hands, honestly. I mean, they can win the races and it's back in their hands. But it's like, if they don't get, before, if they hadn't double DNF'd and they hadn't have, and then Oscar didn't have a poor performance at Coda and whatever, it would have been in a scenario where it's like, kind of no matter what, as long as they just stay competitive at the top, one of them should win the championship.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of they have to actually lock in and win a couple of these race weekends, or at
Yeah.
least prevent Max from winning.
Yeah, I fear that McLaren has just given Max Verstappen the ball. It's like giving Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton the ball with just a few seconds left at this point. It's like it's like what's he gonna do? He's gonna take advantage of it. So
Realistically, even looking at the track still left, I feel like Abu Dhabi's their best chance at even winning one, which is like
I think
insane.
I
But
think
Qatar maybe.
unless something stupid happens, I'm pretty sure like Max is 1,000% gonna win in Las Vegas. I'm
I don't
fairly
know about 1,000%. I think he's got a. I think he's got the McLaren is very slow there, but it's like we've seen other Ferrari's been really fast at Vegas the last couple of years,
That's
and
true. So yeah, we could see a
the only reason I think he'll make points up at guaranteed in Vegas because that McLaren has sucked in Vegas pretty like
oh yeah,
consistently the
yes.
few years that they've been there. They've sucked. So it's been kind of a Ferrari and Red Bull fight. Or didn't no, they were like Red Bull got like 5th, but Max still came to the podium because he clinched the championship there last year, didn't right? It was like George who won and then
Yeah, it was George. Was it George and then both? It was George and then
I don't know if it was both
both
Ferraris, but I know at least
Ferraris.
George was up there and Max was just off to the side because he had just won his
Yeah, he was.
championship.
Yeah, he
So
was just there.
yeah, and yeah, so I just don't think the McLarens will be good at Vegas at least. So was the Red Bull I feel like will be fast, but honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and be like 100 million trillion% Max will win all of these races because his car is faster now. It's like even last week, that McLaren was faster probably than the Red Bull if it was just pure pace for pace, but because Lando was behind Leclerc the whole time, he never even had a chance to go after Max. So
Yeah, I just think so. Max earlier in the season, like a treble is basically like a thing to like cut pieces off of carbon fiber, and this was in Imola, I believe it. No, this was in Monza. In Monza, he basically just cut a giant part of his wing off just to give it like you know way higher downforce. So I'm pretty sure in Las Vegas,
you mean you mean higher top speed,
higher
less
top
downforce.
speed, less downforce. Jeez, I'm cooked. I was filming a video before this. I'm fried. That's going to be my excuse. But of course, you take off that bit of the wing, higher top speed, harder to control in the corners, but like it's max. So I don't think it really matters. I think he's probably just going to do that again, and he's just going to be speedy at Las Vegas. So I don't know. We'll see once we get there.
I think they'll have high top speed. I'm just not gonna sit here and be like 1 million% unless it's catastrophically wrong. Red Bull Max will win in Vegas. I'm more of a like I feel pretty confident he'll outscore the McLarens, but not necessarily that he's just gonna walk away with the win
I
because
am. I'm going to start narratives. Max is a million percent going to win.
straight line speed.
He's,
So
he's winning.
all right. Uh well for me, I think it's another Maxter class weekend, bro. All right. That was a
Yep.
horrible little wordplay there, but Max
You
is gonna
tried.
get
It's
pole
okay.
and he's gonna get the win. He's gonna convert pole to win. And even if he doesn't do that, I think he's gonna come from the front row and win and just overtake whoever does get pole. But I think Max will get pole. I think Max will win. It's Max's track. It's always been Max's track. He's gonna come back up in the sombrero and yeah, then all of a sudden it'll be real stressful. I mean, I did it last week and it's boring maybe, but it's like at this point I kind of have to do it cuz it's like they got to have it and someone's got to do it. I'm going to take Oscar in P2.
Okay.
I feel like at some point he's got to bounce back.
Right.
Now, if he doesn't do it this weekend, I won't put him on my podium next weekend. All right, it's not happening.
Okay.
I'm not putting him on the podium next weekend if he doesn't bounce back this weekend. This is my last chance that I'm giving Oscar and saying he can still win this title. He's not actually out of it by Lando or Max yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to show me this week that he can. If he again just underperforms, if Lando somehow ends up ahead of him after this race is over, I'm off the Oscar can win the championship still train. I'm back. I'm to where I was with Lando like midway through the year. I was like, I just don't even think he can do it anymore. It's like I'm already kind of at that point with Oscar, but there's still something. I know he still has it in him. He just like he's two in his head now, and so if I see it this weekend. Even if he doesn't win, if he just is consistent, beats his teammate, who is his main rival still, it's still not Max, it is still Lando. Then I'll be like, okay, Oscar can still fight for this thing. He's not out of it yet. So I'm gonna take Oscar in P2. I'm gonna take Lando in P3. I just think Lando is racing safe, racing consistent, which is smart. Is it boring? Yes, but it's smart.
fair.
So I think he'll stay in P3.
Very fair. That's, I mean, a very likely outcome. I mean, of course, none of us know until Sunday. So
Yuki Tsunoda win.
Yuki Tsunoda podium will end up being one of my predictions at some point near the end of the year. Actually, Prix for Abu Dhabi. He'll be at
I will have whatever you are smoking.
Yep. That'll
All right.
sometime later this season. But
So that's both of our podiums and pole. So I have Max getting pole. Corbin has Lando getting pole. Corbin then has Max taking the win from Lando Norris. Yeah, I'm assuming Max qualifies P2 there.
yeah.
Okay, Max from the front row will pass Lando. George Russell, you're saying, is going to just absolutely send it from the second row to get by Lando as well.
I think because George likes to do this little thing where he watches someone like make a move and he just literally tucks in and follows them like their exact line. So I'm pretty sure he's just gonna do that thing where he just gets on Max's tail and just goes through with Max, because it's very easy to do that at the Mexico City first corner.
Yeah, I don't think your prediction's necessarily wrong. I just think it's more likely going to happen that he'd get passed by Max in lap 1 and then have a bad pit stop, because he is like
that is
pretty
fair.
Consistently. They've just had bad pit stops. I don't know why apparently McLaren's favoring Lando by giving him bad pit stops every time he stops. So
yeah, I don't know. I just think the first few like I guess not even turn 1. I could just say the first few turns, just because like there's so many opportunities for switchbacks, and I mean that's George's territory. So I think George will end up getting him.
Quick. Lando gets third, Russell gets second, Max wins. That's Corbin's prediction. I have Max showing up on Saturday, doing Max Verstappen things, getting like his 25th pole in a row. It's like 7, it's like 3 or 4, but it feels like we're back in that Max wins everything era already. It's like it's like, how did we get back here already? It's like this wasn't happening like over the last year and a half, and now we're just back. So and then I think Oscar will get P2. I think Oscar will qualify P2. If I really think he's going to fight for this title still, I think he will have to have at least the second best weekend here, and it's going to be. And then Lando is going to get P3, whether that's on qualifying. I don't really have any idea of how Lando will get there. I just think the McLarens are going to be quick, but I think Max is still going to be Max. So that's our that's our podiums. We got 2 predictions left. Our surprise, what's the big surprise that's going to happen, and then our disaster class, who's going to absolutely shock the weekend.
So
and just it's bad.
So I'm looking down here at drivers. Who's going to surprise everyone this weekend? Which, of course, the way I look at these, for people who don't know, is just like, who's like a lower tier driver, someone that hasn't done as well this year, doesn't have that great of a car, who's going to, outperform and really, stunt on the Mexican City Grand Prix. I'm going to shout out, let's say Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson was an absolute menace at this track last year, if you remember. Maybe flipped off Checo, got into a little scuffle with him and also Fernando Alonso. Didn't make friends at this track last year, but he was quick, and that's why
earned himself the Red Bull seat.
Yeah, he did. So I'm gonna pick Liam Lawson to have a good weekend.
Unfortunate for him, but
yeah, sadly he got downgraded. But
all right, what do I don't. Maybe I won't go with the driver. Maybe I'll go with like something's gonna happen. What do I think? Maybe. Would it be a surprise if there's no cautions? Would you consider surprise if there's no virtual safety car or full safety car?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that'd be a surprise here.
All green racing the whole time. I think there will be no VSC or normal safety car the entire race. We're going to have, just in case that's not crazy enough, I'll add in all drivers will finish. There will be no DNFs on top of that. So not only will there not be a safety car, there will not be anyone who has to retire in the pits or anything who can get their car back or whatever. That's going to be my crazy surprise here, is that we will have 20 drivers cross the checkered flag.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah,
who's absolutely torching their weekend?
Well, I mean, I said it earlier because this is like what my prediction was based off of. I think Oscar's gonna have a just horrendous. Like maybe he doesn't crash out, but like I think if he doesn't get at least top 5, it's a bad weekend because
I wouldn't call it. I think he's gonna have to either get like 1 or 2 points or not score a point if it's gonna be a true disaster. If I'm gonna give you credit for picking the disaster,
okay, yeah, but my disaster is
that's
Oscar.
gonna be my criteria here.
He's
But
gonna crash. He's gonna crash, or
and
he's gonna
it would
get
be a disaster.
P10.
Or alternatively, if he finishes in as 4th, give you 12 points.
Yeah,
If he gets 4th and Lando gets 1st, I would also grant you a disaster for Oscar because he would then all of a sudden be tied with Lando.
be tied.
Championship.
That is true.
That's pretty disastrous. So,
but I think just with the weekends Oscar's been having, I don't feel like he's at that point yet where he's like, dude, I gotta lock in. I think he's there, but I don't think it's like slapped him across the face yet. So I think he's gonna have yet another bad weekend. Which then is going to kick
and you
him
will
into
get
gear.
credit for it if either Oscar finishes in a place where we're like, yeah, that was horrible, or if he is no longer leading the championship after this weekend.
Mhm.
That's how we will grant if it was a disaster weekend for Oscar. What do I want to do for Alpine? I'm thinking Alpine probably is the disaster. But of course, it would have to get pretty bad. And I don't think I can because the only way Alpine can have a disaster weekend, unless they're like just P19, P20 drastically off the pace. It's like they kind of have to double DNF.
Like that's the thing. Like with the disaster class, it's kind of like you can't really pick Alpine because they're already
because last week I would count as an
disaster.
Alpine disaster, holding position for P19
hold position
and
to save fuel.
P18, P17. That counts as a disaster pick. So that's why I'm almost tempted to say Alpine.
It would have to be something pretty
Yuki's
drastic.
the other one. Yuki's the other one that's coming to my head, but he's just kind of struggling already, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think someone's gonna just absolutely cook the race here. It's like
That's it.
Usually there's at least a feeling, but
You don't have any feelings? I mean that
I
could
think
be your
I'm thinking Kimi.
A
Kimi
disaster.
Who has been doing horribly, but I think he continues to do horribly, and to an even worse extent, he does horribly.
Are we
Gets a crack, gets in a collision or something. Somehow this weekend's gonna be a
maybe
disaster.
get some penalty points or something like that. Maybe
Who
finishes
knows?
behind an Alpine. There are ways.
Yes, if you finish behind that, even if it's like Sao Paulo cheese last year and the Alpines are just 2-3 on the podium, if you finish behind Alpine, it's officially a disaster class weekend. Even if they get the luckiest, even if they get a lucky red flag safety car cheese and they end up winning, and if it ends up an Alpine 1-2, it's a disaster. Every driver had a disaster if that's what happens. Lando finishes 3rd. Oscar crashes. Lando's now leading the world championship. It's still a disastrous weekend for Lando if the Alpines win.
That's how it should be. Let's be honest.
So, all right, those are the predictions for the MAXico Grand Prix this weekend. Is that we're 2 more races in North America? Does that sound right? Yeah. This one and Vegas.
Yes, this one in Vegas.
And after that, it's back to the Middle East after that, right?
Yep. The Middle East will be going to I don't know what order this is in, but we'll be in Qatar and then Abu Dhabi, of course.
Hold on. There is Sao Paulo. So there's South American still.
Oh yeah.
But the North American leg, just the Americas leg here is about wrapped up. We still have we're in the tail end of the Western Hemisphere scenario. We have Mexico. They continue south to Sao Paulo, head back north to Vegas, and then it's back out to the Middle East to wrap the season out. So Vegas is basically like the Middle East anyway.
Yeah, close enough.
Except for it's literally the complete opposite culture wise. So other than that, it's literally the exact same.
Very similar. So, for me, I mean, I don't really have anything left. I just think, again, like we were saying, this is an important weekend, so I can't wait.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't like sit here, and it's an important weekend, is because every weekend's important when one driver needs to literally win everything. It's like every weekend's obviously important. So,
Yeah,
or the other drivers just need to win one. It's like every weekend's important until they win the one. It's like
yeah, that's
we're in
fair.
the thick of it.
Everybody knows.
They know me where it snows, and it doesn't snow in Mexico, which is where they're racing this weekend. Unless you're talking about that powdered snow that the cartels.
Yo, dude, if they want to sponsor us, that
What? This episode was brought to you by the Sinaloa cartel. Checo Perez is gonna win the World Drivers' Championship. This episode
dude,
is
Checo is
officially
the
sponsored
greatest
by
to
El
ever do
Chapo.
it.
Thank you to our sponsor El Chapo this weekend.
Oh man! All right,
Thank you El Chapo for the sponsorship, and
and vamos Checo.
yeah, all right. That was an insane take there.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We are not affiliated with any cartels. I guess I should clarify here.
Yes, that was a joke.
Unless they have a lot of money. We can do some laundering, is all I'm saying. You know,
Yeah,
we can clean your money.
We
out
will
for you.
not be doing that.
All right. Let's wrap it up. Let's not go on a crazy tangent here
Yeah.
about the cartels and money laundering,
All right.
which we would not be doing for them
Ever, unless they paid us. But anyways, we're gonna move past that. So I'm pretty sure that's all I got for you. The predictions are wrapped up. We showed you what was on Twitter. Caleb, you got anything else to chuck in before we head off?
Nope. We will be back at some Sunday or Monday for the recap, which is going to be interesting. We will know every weekend. We get so much closer to knowing what Abu Dhabi is going to look like, which is what we all really want at this point. Is a three-way race, or everyone just DNFs and all of a sudden it's a four-way race for Abu Dhabi. Then George Russell's in it. You know,
Would be
even then you still can have a four-way race because George wouldn't be in it unless they DNF'd. So.
Dude, final turn. They all just pile into each other. You see George just make the final turn. Oh no! Yes, Mikey, this is right.
Yeah, we'd have to actively investigate Mercedes if all three drivers somehow spontaneous. They might be doing the Cars 2 camera if that happens, bro.
Oh, dude, they have to.
Like
They're filling
have
up with all in all
in those engines. They've got all in all. That's George Russell's only chance is if Red Bull and McLaren start using all in all.
Yeah, George is using that all natural fuel from Fillmore, bro.
It's organic, bro.
Oh man. All right. Well, I don't got anything either. So I want to thank you guys for watching or listening to a Simply Lovely podcast. Our links, of course, are down below. Go check us out on any socials. And me personally, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Yo, that was bad. English is hard. Caleb, you got anything?
Yeah, well, Corbin said him personally hopes you have a fantastic day. So I'll balance it out. I hope your day sucks. Yeah.
Sick. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Bye-bye.